This is James with Erogenous Tones, and welcome to our introduction videos for using GLSL fragment shaders with structure. In Part 1, we'll cover some of the basics of GLSL and how it relates to structure. In Part 2, we'll go over the Erogenous Tones Shader Sandbox website and look at examples of shader code to get a feel for how they are laid out. And in Part 3, we will go through the steps on how to modify an existing shader and how to convert a shader from the internet to a format that structure can use. Finally, we'll go over the process of loading the new shaders into structure. So, let's get started. GLSL stands for Graphic Library Shading Language. It is a programming language similar to C and is used to run programs on a computer's graphic processing unit, also known as the GPU. GPUs are incredibly fast at mathematic operations, and we can leverage that power to generate 2- and 3-dimensional objects. This diagram of the GLSL graphics pipeline shows the path a fragment or pixel goes through to make it to the final display window and ultimately to your screen. We are able to insert code into this graphics pipeline by using fragment shaders. The nodes that you see on the left side of the preview window on structure represent fragment shader code that we will run on the GPU. For example, a generator node, indicated by the letters GEN in the preview window, is a fragment shader written in GLES 2.0, a subset of GLSL. This gen node renders to a texture that can then be displayed or processed further by other nodes, aka fragment shaders, in our node layout. You can view and modify the fragment shader code for the gen nodes on the Erogenous Tones Shader Sandbox website at glsl.erogenous-tones.com, and I'll put a link to that site in the description. In Part 2, we're going to discuss what GL shader code looks like and how it is implemented in structure.